Very important clash for both of these sides. The Roys looking to sneak into the 6. Stevens trying to get the first effective touch. Couldn't do so. Gale pushed it wide for Fitzroy. Ball's going to be slippery. Stevens through once again. Out towards Jimmy Wine. Gets a hurried kick towards the outer wing where it wobbles over the line, but a free kick has been picked up. It's going to go to Jim Wine.
Yes, he's pushed in the back as he kicked it, Sandy, so he has to take the free kick. It won't be paid up the field.
Been in very good form. Let's see what he can do as he uses the drop punt to go up towards half forward. Scholl over the line.
Interesting how they used Paul Roos last week, Sandy, too. He started off at centre-half back. Paxman was doing the ruck work. He then went to centre-half back, and Paul Roos roamed around the ground.
Alex Oshenko is a new lease of life. Larkin pressured by Lyon. Good pressure too. Lyon took the ball but then lost it. Blakey goes in over the top. Makes sure he locks it up on that outer wing. So we'll have another bounce. As Gerard said, very little breeze, but a cool night and persistent light misty rain.
Dundas smothered off the boot, wheeled in towards the boundary line twice and gets it across.
The other thing, Dennis, Alistair Lynch is lining up on the forward line, and Peter Caven has a job at full back on John Longmire.
Has the makings of a terrific game, this one. Paxman misses the ball. This is Stevens. Eventually North move it forward well inside their attacking 50. Roos got one hand to the ball. Down goes Fairley, met solidly. Roos is going to get a free kick. Held by the arm according to the umpire. Roos goes in short. Dundas again having a good season. He's at right half back. Still some misting rain falling on the outer side. Oshenko is up. Plays on immediately to Scholl. Across it comes to Stevens, who boots it down towards the pocket. Not a particularly good kick. Taken across the boundary line once more by Paul Roos. A triple best and fairest with the Lions. It will be thrown in left full forward pocket.
Yes, and playing game number 217. Paul Roos. Oshenko trying to do the ruck work from behind. Gale coming back into the side, trying to force his way through. Larkin attempts to soccer off the ground. Roos again just flicks it over the top. Dundas a high kick, doesn't gather a lot of distance. Could spell danger here for Fitzroy. Rock tries to get through, but he can't do so. Kick partly smothered close to the boundary line. Almost a high tackle. Crocker goes into the open goal. Touched going over the line and one behind. So first score of the night going to Darren Crocker and North Melbourne. And it will be Peter Caven who will bring it back into play very quickly. Going to the outer side. And fine mark taken by Blakey, who can run on here. One of Fitzroy's veterans now, John Blakey, playing game number 125. Down towards half forward. Martin comes steaming out. Pumps it back towards the centre. Jimmy Wine used the body well. Couldn't take it, but he's got good backup support through Dundas. Off to Roos. His little chip is intercepted by Crocker, who goes to ground. Manages somehow to get it out. Larkin over the top once again. But Fitzroy are able to tidy up. Oh, the kick is not a good one from Baldwin. It goes over the line and out of bounds on the full. Slippery ball. It's going to make it tough. Richard Dennis sending North into attack. Looking for Oshenko. Wind waits down. Goes straight back to Dennis. He's on right half forward. In towards the forward zone. Stevens in front. He's off. Plays on. From 25 metres. Flicks in towards goal. Pulling it a little too far right and another behind. So second on the board to North Melbourne. But they've started, Bernie, in somewhat a more attacking fashion than Fitzroy.
Yes, good play there too by John Longmire. He kept the fullback Peter Caven out of that contest, allowing Stevens to take that mark quite easily on his chest.
Caven kicks it in. Paxman trying to knock it on, was interfered with. He'll take the free kick. So Paxman at left half back. Advantage is paid. Lyon booting it down towards half forward. Taken by Joe Cormack. Well shepherded by Abbott. Probing kick inside the attacking 50. It runs free behind Martin. Scholl will get back and tidy up. With some time. Well played by Scholl. Out of defence. Members side. Or Fitzroy. Dundas. He's forward of the wing, goes down towards the pocket, ill-directed. Carey gets back and takes the mark inside the defensive 50.
Carey in a new role the last couple of weeks, playing at centre-half back.
Carey back to the wing, Fairley on the lead. Fairley close to the boundary line. Oops. Schwass in a tight situation did very well. Boots it down towards half forward. Going back, fisted away by Morrish. Dennis could have almost been pushed in the back. Back comes Morrish and gets it out of bounds. It'll be thrown in. North Melbourne 2 points. Fitzroy yet to score.
On the 50-metre line for North Melbourne. Yashenko standing his ground and flicking with the right hand. Stevens has it stolen by Blakey. Can't get clear. Crocker tries to surge it further down to the forward line. Fairley flicking round his body in towards full forward. North had the numbers initially, but it's going to be Caven. He loses it. Clarkson ripped off the football. It spills free. Socket off the ground. All North Melbourne. Romero. Well outside 50. Gives a little ground. Carey. He's nicknamed the Duck by his teammates, so he'll revel in these conditions. Roos towards the back pocket area and over the line.
Yes, Paul Roos on at every opportunity looking to run down into that forward line, and Paxman covers for him on most occasions.
Under 19 minutes remaining. Just the two behinds on the board. We don't expect a huge scoring game tonight. Anthony Rock should get the first goal. He does. So the Roos are away to an 8-point lead. 1-2. Fitzroy yet to score.
Yes, North Melbourne are the night football specialists. They've had some very good wins here at the MCG on Friday nights. As we see, Yashenko, too much height in the ruck there for Paxman. 200 centimetres Yashenko, 188 centimetres Paxman, so he should win most centre square and boundary throw-ins.
North Melbourne out of the centre again, doing all the attacking at the present time. The ball skids out of bounds inside right half forward. They lead by 8 points. Yashenko doing well on the ball. There he is. The West Coast Eagles and then the Brisbane Bears. 30 games with the Eagles, 42 with the Bears. Rock away to Dennis, who chips it in short. Fairley's taken the mark, only 35 metres out directly in front.
Well, Fitzroy opting with the shorter, more mobile ruckman, but it hasn't worked so far in this early part of the match because Yashenko dominating the ruck with that 12 centimetres height advantage.
Ian Fairley kicks truly. Flying start for North. They lead 2-2 to no score.
Yes, Fitzroy have got by with having the very short ruckman. Abbott is lining up on the forward line at centre half forward. Paxman doing the ruck work. And they've got away with that so far throughout the season. But tonight with Yashenko's height advantage, certainly getting first use of the ball on most occasions, North Melbourne. And Fitzroy might have to look at that part of their game because they're certainly being dominated at the centre bounces and around the boundary throw-ins.
Fairley and Rock are the two players to goal to date. Yashenko giving them a great start in the middle. He wins it again. Lyon this time, however, applies the tackle. Locks it up in the middle. It's one of the Roy's great tries, Bernie, isn't he? Ross Lyon.
Oh, he's a great player for Fitzroy.
He's 110% all the time.
Very hard at the ball, Rossi Lyon.
Again has it held, this time by John Blakey. Umpires tonight, Peter Carey and Chris Mitchell, as Crocker tries to get a kick, ineffective. Blakey tries to get it out. Guard at the bottom of the pack. North appearing to have the numbers. Oh. Lyon in solidly, but Seacamp down to half forward. Osborne. He's having a fine season, Richard Osborne.
Fitzroy may have been a little bit fortunate back there, Dennis, with Rossi Lyon rather indiscriminate kick off the ground. Richard Osborne in front of Michael Martin, taking that mark at the second grab.
He's kicked 35 for the season, and he's added a behind, I fear, to his tally in his first shot at goal tonight. So the Roy's on the board. One behind, but they trail North Melbourne, who are 2-2. And some interesting forms of protective gear being worn tonight.
A Hardy fan. Or a full Hardy fan. There goes the kick in to half-back. McRae's got it. Chips it out wide. Blakey and Carey, the two number 18s. Gale arrived. Blakey. Now Lyon does well. Runs forward of the wing. Pulls it back towards centre half forward. Up goes Abbott. Couldn't hang on. Romero comes away and boots towards centre field. Very awkward in there. Very slippery. Hard to keep your footing. Seacamp gets it to Morris, who goes in short. Over the top, Clarkson fisting away from line. Look out. McRae couldn't control it. In goes Abbott. Away to Gale. Gale forward of the wing. Goes long down towards full forward. Judging at the best down there was Lynch. Still he goes Lynch. Across to Osborne, who snaps and kicks it. Fine goal. Fitzroy 1-1, North Melbourne 2-2.
There's some good body-on-body stuff there across the centre wing with a fine clash. Almost there, Rossi Lyon and McRae. And there's Michael Gale, a player who's come back from a reconstruction operation. Alistair Lynch playing on that forward line. He's had some trouble with a heel injury. He would normally be lining up at full back, feeding it off to Richard Osborne.
Osborne gets his first. He has Fitzroy's score of 1-1. They trail by that margin. Back in the middle once more. And a high socker off the ground by Paxman down towards half forward. An opportunity for Fitzroy to go inside 50 once again. Tackling has been fierce. Holding the ball cool. Wine was going to scoot off, but it's got to come back.
Great tackle there by Wielden there, Sandy. He gave a rather poor hand pass off, but then backed up with that good tackle.
Let's see what the Doc can do. From 70 metres, it's a high drop punt in towards the square. Lynch used the body. This could go off the ground. Dundas unable to pick it up, and it's out of bounds in the left forward pocket. There's Tuddenham, one of the game's greats here tonight. Good to see him here. Abbott coming in from the side. North defence under pressure. Wielden over the top asks the question. The umpire ignores it, and we'll have another ball up. Centre half forward for Fitzroy. Craig Scholl. Midway during this first quarter. Ashenko again with that height advantage. Back towards the centre of the ground. Socket clear. Carey should get to this first. Chasing his line. Oh, and he hassles him, and he hassles him. He had to beat a couple of them, and he did it well. Osborne, under pressure, gets it off to Blakey. He charges inside 50. John Blakey shoots in towards goal. He's put it through. 2 quick goals to the Lions, and they're back in the race. They trail by a behind.
Yes, back in business, Fitzroy. And they're showing the trademarks, the football they've displayed all season, and that's desperation. Picked up some very good draft pickups, Seacamp and Jeremy Gard, also Morris and Abbott in some pre-draft manoeuvring, and all these players have certainly added something to the Fitzroy side.
2 remarkable goals then to the Lions, who trail by just a point. Back in the middle, Gard claimed by McRae, and the umpire decides it was held to him. 14 plays 13. Just over 13 minutes remaining till quarter time. Cormac trying to knock it out of there. Armstrong missed it. Battling in there is Stevens. Larkin goes off the ground. Roos read it best. Roos squares the ball. This is Blakey. They've got a loose man around the outer side. Paxman. Telling kick towards half forward. Knocked on by Wielden. Almost worth a kick close to the boundary line. Osborne goes across, so does the ball. Boundary throw in just outside the attacking 50 for Fitzroy. And the crowd very involved in this game at the present time. Not a big crowd, but not bad given the conditions. 2 up-and-coming teams. Cormac gets it across to Dundas. Across the face, Lynch almost.
Free kick
to Brayshaw.
I think he was hanging on.
Good kick by Dundas too. Not far away.
There's that free kick. He has definitely got his Guernsey there, dragged him to the ground.
Bayshaw's kick comes out towards half back, and Clarkson will get a free kick. So Clarkson, right half back. Good start to this game. He goes in short. Rock's got it.
Being picked up by Jimmy Wind, one of the best taggers in the game.
Towards centre wing. Cormac misses it. Another West Australian. Seacamp backs up. Boots it back inside half forward. Wheeled it up. Got hands to it. Abbott goes off the ground. Wide of the mark. It skids out of bounds in the right full forward pocket.
A couple of lively forwards there for Fitzroy. Richard Osborne at full forward and Wheeldon lining up on the half forward flank.
Point in it. Abbott and Ashenko. Wheeldon in over the top, but it's Rock. Tries to get through. Eventually gets a short kick. Down towards half back. The Roos out of trouble. Martin clearing to centre wing. Romero could have been held. Will come back and take it at centre wing.
Good to see him back on the side too, Jose Romero. Very dangerous around goal.
Goes to the half forward line. No mark taken. The bounce will favour Wine. Well tackled by Stevens. The ball spills free. Smith tries to get a kick away, but there'll be a free kick towards Fitzroy.
Kicking in danger, Sandy.
Wine to take it. Off to Baldwin. Away he goes. From the half-back flank. Over centre wing. And Abbott forced to defend away from Carey. Pushing over the line. Looks as though this rain may be with us for most of the night. It's certainly not heavy. Just persistent. Lyon bringing it in towards half forward. Trying to get it out was Wheeldon. Smith gets claimed. Abbott a good tackle. Wheeldon in again. Well, the tackling by both sides has been superb in this first quarter. Wind at the bottom. Has it stolen by Larkin. Gave it straight to him. A high kick over the centre. Fairly in the pack. Roos the spoiler. Riding the bump was Seacamp. Stevens towards the boundary line. Tries to tap it back in. Is successful to Crocker, who flicks it over the back, but gives it away. Taken by Armstrong, who kicks to the half-forward line. Now Scholl. Dundas tries to thread his way through. The hand pass is a little loose. Crocker again. A high kick in towards full forward. And the big Fitzroy fists make sure it is hammered over the line. Tutu plays 2-1. Alex Ashenko, who's going to have a lot of work to do tonight. No doubt, Bernie, they'll use that ploy with changing him and Donald McDonald, will they, on the...
Usually at the 20-minute mark, Sandy. Yeah, Ashenko off and Donald McDonald to do the last 10 minutes of the quarter.
Rock tries to weave through some fairly heavy traffic. Roos couldn't pick it up on the half volley, but Gale gives him a helping hand and he kicks it out in front of Blakey. It'll wobble over the line ever so slowly. And another throw in on the other side. Good first quarter, this one. Both sides realising the importance of this clash. Fitzroy can't afford to give away a good start to the season. North have got to try and make amends for a very erratic one. Blakey can't beat Stevens. Pulling it in towards the pocket. And Peter Caven sees it over the line. But it's in North Melbourne's attacking zone. Down in their left forward pocket.
Ashenko and Paxman. Ashenko wins it down. Fairley couldn't control it. Crocker falls over. Stevens, who's been lively, gets it to Dennis, who snaps and misses. Out of bounds on the full in the right full forward pocket. Score remains 2-2 to 2-1. Richard Dennis, quite a few possessions too so far in this game. He's had 4 kicks. Caven out of the back pocket, miscues slightly. Ashenko is up, missed the ball. Clarkson had his pocket picked. Armstrong comes away with it. Boots it towards the outer side. There's Wheeldon and Buckley. Meantime, Blakey had the run of it, did hand pass it away, could have almost been held. He's going to get the free kick, and that's the point the umpire makes. He did hand pass.
Yes, made sure the umpire saw that. John Blakey throwing his arms up in the air.
Blakey, forward of the wing. Boots it long, well inside the 50. Lynch goes back, couldn't hang on. Osborne right against the boundary line. Tries to really manufacture something there and couldn't. It goes out of bounds on the full. Watch the fence.
Yes, I wouldn't like to be playing on Mickey Martin. A couple of, especially when you get near the fence. There was one in Sydney a couple of weeks ago when a former Fitzroy player crashed into the fence up there.
Martin gets a kick around the outer side. Down goes Seacamp. Gale going nowhere. I think we take your point, Bernie. Morris gets it across to Wind. Goes in short. Beautifully picked up by Lyon, who boots it inside the attacking 50. Here he comes again, trying to work the ball over near the fence. It's Martin. Martin and Osborne. Baldwin's got it from 60 metres out. Howell at bounce. Brayshaw didn't judge it all that well. Goes off the ground though. Larkin just outside the 50.
To Martin. Osborne runs into him, but it was not a good tackle by Richard on that occasion.
There was a bit of feeling in that tackle, Sandy.
Yes. That's going to be a great duel, that one. So Martin takes it from half back and puts it over the line. Down almost to the wing.
The player, of course, was Strooper, who ran into the fence rather solidly in Sydney.
That's a very dangerous fence up there.
That is, that boundary is just far too close to the fence.
From the throw-in, Shenko trying to flick it wide. Line claimed, but claimed too high, said the umpire. Matthew Larkin not impressed with that decision. So Lyon to send Fitzroy forward once again, just chipping over the top. He wanted Armstrong. Schwass takes it back to the wing once again. Roos will come over the top. Baldwin waiting down, snared it nicely and showed skill as he floats it up towards half forward. Anyone at the back. Lynch rides the bump, gives it to the doctor, who sets sail for home and goals. The Roys are in front. Wheeldon gets his first. 3-1 plays 2-2.
It's amazing the improvement in this Fitzroy side when you consider that Wheeldon was the leading goal kicker last year with 29 goals. Already Richard Osborne well in front of that. He's kicked 36 goals for the season. Their goal kicking potential, especially with this man on the forward line, Alistair Lynch, who can play really any position. It doesn't worry him either in defence or in attack. Very unselfish there, feeding it off to Wheeldon.
North Melbourne got the first 2 goals. Fitzroy have kicked the last 3 then. Back in midfield, Blakey was held without it. Fitzroy work it forward. Guard. Clever handball. Got it to Roos, who boots it down towards full forward. Back goes Lynch. Yes. Interfered with his marksman there, and the free kick will go to Dennis. Advantage is paid. Martin comes away, boots it out wide. Schwass, surrounded by Fitzroy players, needed to mark it. As it was, the kick was centimetre perfect. This is Baldwin, about 70 metres out from goal. Fitzroy take it back in. Wheeldon takes the mark. Schwass slow to get up behind play.
He's very disappointed he didn't take that mark. A chest mark, even in these conditions. And Baldwin again setting up this play into the forward line. He set up that last goal to Wheeldon. And then again hitting Wheeldon on the chest with that pass.
He's got one. If he kicks a goal here, the lead will be 11 points for the Lions. Wheeldon slides it right across the face. Lucky to be a behind. 3-2 plays 2-2.
Already North Melbourne has made a change with Mark Brayshaw off the ground and Sean Smith coming on into the forward pocket.
Just over 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Police being asked to assist.
Paxman now back at centre half back, that ploy I was talking about before too, Sandy, and Paul Roos further up the ground being picked up by Crocker.
Clarkson brings it back into play, looking for the tall timber. Baldwin again flicking it round his body. Oh, he had to beat a couple of them. And Paul Roos relishing the captaincy once again. An intelligent kick finds Blakey, who's going to have a shot directly in front. And the Roys have hit back on the ruse. I'm having trouble with names tonight. Have hit back very hard, Bernie.
Yes, they're doing it well at the moment, Sandy. They're really fired up.
Blakey directly in front. Distance may test him. 55. It's a good looking kick off the boot. Touched. One behind. 2-2 plays Fitzroy's 3-3. Dennis this time. Contemplating where to go. Is there a move? No, he heads towards Ashenko. Fitzroy having the numbers at the drop of the ball at the moment. The hurried kick was by Seacamp. It's high, didn't gather a lot of distance. Roos, if he can pick it up, he can't. Drew Crocker past him. Now an opportunity for Smith if he can get through the tackle. He can't, but he managed to get boot to ball, which was clever. Blakey again has had a busy first quarter. Goes out wide to wing and finds Jeremy Gard.
9 possessions for John Blakey as Gard goes down towards half forward. Fisted away by Martin out of bounds. The rain continues to fall, albeit gentle rain. A less than gentle game so far. Very physical. Both these sides desperate to claw their way up the ladder this season. Larkin out of the congestion. Around the outer side, Stevens and Gale. Fairly. It's out of bounds.
Richard Dennis has been moved down to that back line, picking up Alistair Lynch. As I said, Mark Brayshaw off the ground and Sean Smith playing in the forward pocket.
Fitzroy by 7 points. Armstrong missed it. Paxman knocks it on. Lyon does well. Blakey again, no. Penalised for a throw is Lyon. Well, that's a bit tough in these conditions. He was trying to make the play. Ramiro takes the kick. Schwass has got it. Hard against the boundary line. Pulls it back towards centre half forward. Seacamp's in front. Battling with Crocker. Falls to wide. Hurried kick towards the outer side. Lyon is there. Ashenko got a fist on it. Down goes Ramiro. Against the flow. Scholl back towards half forward. Opportunity for McRae now, who goes long down towards a one-out situation. Who's got the pace back? Caven misses the ball. Longmire picks it up and he's kicked it behind. Well, they got Longmire one out, but he missed.
It was a real let-off for Fitzroy because Longmire would normally have kicked that one without a problem, but Caven also a bad mistake, letting Longmire into the contest.
Got to work on his floor exercise.
Peter Caven brings it back into play. Just on a minute and a half remaining in this first quarter. Roos and Gale, who seem to get bogged out there. And in doing so lost the football, but he's not the only one. Roos gives him valuable assistance. Blakey has been marvellous in this first quarter. Across to Armstrong. Fitzroy looking good as they head towards the half-forward line. Osborne!
Sensational, wasn't it? What a mark in these conditions. He got the ride on Michael Martin. Here it is, jumped early, took it on the chest. Great stuff.
What a duel. And he's gone short to John Blakey. And hasn't he had a quarter, Bernie?
He's been tremendous, John Blakey, in defence right along that outer wing. Good play there by Osmond, seeing the pass was on. He was out about 55 metres out. He wouldn't have made the distance.
10 possessions for Blakey. An important kick. Drifted it right across the face. And just sneaking it in for one behind. So inside the last 25 seconds. But a good comeback by Fitzroy. North kicked the opening couple of goals and did the bulk of the attacking. But the second half of this first quarter has been the Lions. Dennis again. There'll just be a couple more kicks to quarter time. Again, he goes straight down the middle. Gale waits at the back. Comes right across the ground. Baldwin can run on here. There could be time for another score. They'll need a mark. Baldwin's kick into the pocket, over the line. And a throw in with 4, 3, 2, 1. And it's quarter time here at the MCG. A good, tight first quarter in a most important game. Fitzroy, 3-4, 22, leading North, 2-3, 15. Second quarter. North kicked the opening 2 goals of the game, then Fitzroy replied. Ishenko out of the centre, can't get an effective kick. Cormac, a good tackle. Wind off the ground, back towards the centre. They've got the runners. Gale, long and low, in towards half forward. Lynch comes steaming out, he needs support. Gale follows it down, tries to get it to Osborne, can't do so. Blakey looking for a free kick. Tunnel balling it out the back to Wheeldon, who pulls it high, in towards full forward. A couple of big flyers, but no mark. And it's Craig Scholl who defends for North Melbourne. Back towards Crocker on centre wing. Tried to leave a path for Ishenko, but it's all Fitzroy on the end of the chain of hand passes. Wine, he goes short. Ross Lyon is going to send Fitzroy deep into attack once more. He does go long. Good looking kick. Martin in front of Osborne. Good tight first quarter those two had. Guard puts it out of bounds on the full. Jeremy Gard played in a premiership side with Claremont last year.
His father did too, as a matter of fact.
Not last year.
No, well, not last year, no. That would have been a first.
Kick back into play. Blakey again, receiving from Gale. Good kick. Osborne is going to have a shot, 30 metres out.
Yes, Richard Osborne well on target for 100 goals this season, averaging 5 goals a game. He was on target that year that he injured a knee very severely against Collingwood, having a great season.
Gale coming off too, Bernie, as we watch Richard Osborne shoot towards goal. He snuck it home. Very good goal for Fitzroy. They lead 4-4, North at 2-3.
There's 2 goals to Richard Osborne. Michael Gale, who's had a hamstring problem. He's missed the last couple of matches. Well, it looks almost as if he's having the same sort of problems again. He was 100%, he said, coming into this match. It's a Fitzroy physio checking him out.
Ball thrown up back in the middle. So Mark Bunn is on the ground. Had a marvellous debut season back in 1990. Runner-up for the best and fairest. Michael Gale not too happy down there on the boundary as North Melbourne take it forward down towards the forward pocket. It floats out of bounds on the full, and Fitzroy will get the resultant free kick. It'll be taken by Caven. I'm not sure if he's torn that muscle or whether it may be just tightening up on him.
He didn't seem to be in a lot of trouble as he came off the ground, Dennis.
Well, he probably knows the signs by now. There's Caven out of the back pocket towards the outer side. Ishenko's up in front, slapped away by Abbott. Taken by Gard to Dundas. He's at left half back. Sweeping hand pass to accommodate Roos. And Roos is away on the wing. Probing kick down towards half forward. Osborne. Very clever.
Yes, outmanoeuvring Michael Martin on that occasion. A big boy too, Michael Martin, 97 kilos. Body on body, you would expect him to be to have the advantage over Richard Osborne, but good pair of hands with a greasy ball there. Great mark, Richard Osborne, doing very well at full forward.
Kicking at his third. This to make the margin 19 points. Distance shouldn't be a problem. That's a marvellous kick. Fitzroy skipped clear and lead 5-4 to 2-3. They've kicked the last 5 goals in this game.
Yes, Richard Osborne, he had a big pre-season. He's looking magnificent physically. Good upper body strength. He's done a lot of weights, Richard Osborne. Got over that knee reconstruction. And kicking from the 50-metre line. He is very accurate. Has now kicked 38 goals for the season.
So the Roos are in trouble as Schwass gets a short kick towards centre wing. Rock leads in the race. Oh, over the top of him comes Bunn illegally. And Anthony Rock will take the free kick on centre wing. Mark Bunn just coming onto the ground, as Dennis said, replacing Gale. Rock's kick wants Ishenko. Got a hand to it, but that was all. That could just about be holding the ball. No, the ball was held, said the umpire.
Might have been a bit lucky there.
Yep.
He did duck initially, Clarkson. And that first tackle was applied, and then he was caught fair and square.
19 points is the margin, favouring Fitzroy. The biggest margin so far in this game. Dundas loses it. Barn gets a kick down towards the centre wing area. Wheeldon has been disciplined. And his game is looking very good for it. Towards half forward he goes. Who's waiting down? Wine. Clever kick. Martin this time eyes on the ball, and he takes a solid mark at halfback. Cormac on the mark. Martin pumping it back towards the wing. Ishenko is his man. Wheeldon is there to go with him. Pushed towards centre wing. Kept in play by Seacamp. Blakey, who had a wonderful first term with 11 possessions. And a North Melbourne mark is going to be paid to Ben Buckley, the vice-captain. Reserves best and fairest back in 1988, but he won't be happy with that. Paxman just lurking across the centre, gives it to Baldwin, who pumps them back into attack once again. Oh, there were 4 North Melbourne players there. Clarkson appeared to run into a wall. Somehow gets it out to Romero, who goes wide towards the wing. He wants Schwass. Used the body well against Baldwin. Wayne Schwass. North wanting the next goal very badly. Holding on. And this time it's going the way of North Johnny Longmire. Do you agree, Bernie?
Yes, he was being held by Caven. No doubt about that. The umpire spotted that. I don't think there's any complaints there from Peter Caven. Holding on to the Guernsey. Definitely hanging on.
Yep. No doubt about that. So he's looking for the 236th goal of his career. In 76 games, just inside 50. North desperately wanting this one. Disappointment for the Roos. Saw Gale down on the sidelines there. What's his problem, Jared?
Well, he's got a slight pain in the right hamstring, Sandy. They're not going to risk him. May come back on if he's required, but at this stage it is a little bit doubtful. He's got good stretch and good strength, but could be just a back-related hamstring.
Reasonable news in the circumstances then. This is Wind. Paxman, well played. Armstrong through the middle. Long inside the attacking 50. Pack into the air. It falls forward. Down goes Cormac. Was he held? Yes, he was, according to the umpire. Wheeldon's gone Goldwood and missed. It'll come back to Joe Cormac.
It always helps, Dennis, in those situations to throw your arms up and make sure the umpire notices the holding on, because that was Buckley who was the infringer, but very little contact, yes. Really. A bit of a soft free kick, but the umpires do notice players throwing their arms up as Donald McDonald replaces Ishenko. McDonald playing his 150th game.
Joe Cormac directly in front. Poor kick. Miners score. Would have been handy, a goal there. Really break this game open. 5-5 plays 2-4. There's the time remaining. Michael Martin's got the footy. And the rain is all but stopped, at least for the moment. As Martin drives it towards the outer side. Abbott in best position, goes up and fists away. Romero roving the pack. McRae goes back into the pack. Feeds it off. This is Fairley, forward of right half back. He boots it down towards half forward. Going back with courage. Crocker, fine mark, plays on. Hit the ground running, goes looking for Longmire. Almost the mark. Still Longmire's in front. Kicking in danger, was it?
Yes, it was. And a good decision by the umpire. A good decision, definitely. The umpire there. Chris Mitchell, right on the spot. We can see it again. The ball goes, spills to the ground in front of John Longmire. And here's the kick. Yes, very dangerous there from Caven, although I think he may have held back in the end, Dennis.
I think he did too. I think he pulled the kick. Still Longmire has it. 40 metres out. And he steers it through. North needed that one. North Melbourne 3-4, Fitzroy a 5-5.
That's badly needed goal for North Melbourne. They started off in a blaze of glory, kicking 2 early goals, but since then it's been all Fitzroy. And Johnny Longmire, he missed an easy one in that first quarter. As we look at this free kick again, let's see Caven. It was dangerous in that first instance, but it didn't get anywhere near Longmire in the end.
John Longmire stops the Fitzroy goal-scoring run for the moment anyway. 5 on the trot. Dundas overruns it. Scholl whips in, gets out the lightning hand pass. Oh, pressure on Romero. almost lost it, shoulder towards the boundary line, and quite happy with a couple of lines in hot pursuit to see it roll over. Very handy goal for North and John Longmire. They were staring down the barrel at a 19-point deficit in conditions not conducive to very high scoring. Once again, it's in Fitzroy's attacking zone as Gale certainly doesn't look right.
He might have done it just then, I think.
Doing the stretching on the boundary line.
Just running. No, as he was running.
Baldwin, long kick. Good kick. Goal! So there's the quick reply from Fitzroy. Baldwin gets his first, and the Royals move to 6-5, North of 3-4.
There's Baldwin doing well across that centre line. Here's a replay of that. Big punch away there from Brayshaw, taken by Baldwin right on the 50-metre line. And Alistair Lynch doing a bit of shepherding there, making sure that one went through.
Buckley out of the centre. There's the time remaining. And the difference, 19 points. Seacamp back for Fitzroy. Armstrong goes off the ground with a clenched fist. Down goes Carey. Does well. Crocker's got it. Claimed by Baldwin. Slapped out of there by Cormac. Taken by Roos, who boots it towards the underside wing. McRae leads in the race. Closing on him is Lyon. It's still in. Rock picks it up. Close to the boundary line. Steadies. Pulls it back inside the attacking 50. Carey is up. That's a fine mark. Fine mark on the 50-metre line.
He's been moved to centre-half forward, Wayne Carey, after starting at centre-half back. He swapped over with Ian Fairley, who's now playing at centre-half back for North Melbourne.
It'll take a good kick from here. Carey, 4 possessions so far. Will kick from about 55 metres. Off target and short. Morris is up to fist away. Through it goes for a behind. Down on the ground, I think, is John Longmire, is it? No.
No.
Donald McDonald on for his 150th game.
It's bad luck as Guard comes away and finds Blakey, the star of the first term. His 14th possession. He pulls it back inside the 50 for Fitzroy. Martin was up. Falls to Abbott. He simply dropped it. Martin in trouble. It deflects across to Dennis. And Dennis boots it towards the outside wing.
Wine leading in the race. He'll have support here through Armstrong, and he'll need it. Bunn there too. Smith tries to get it out. Can't do so. Wine waits for it. They battle hard. Morris tackling like a terrier. Here's a chance for McDonald. He looked down and out only seconds ago, and he's going to go into an open goal. He was going to go into an open goal. One behind for Donald.
He did, the ball didn't.
Well, that's a great recovery by McDonald. Of course, when you find yourself with a bit of space and no opposing players in between you and the goal, it's amazing what sort of difference that can make to your fitness.
Cavan looking for Roos. Should get a free kick. No. They'll hold possession. Blakey, best on ground to date. To the half-forward line. And tapped over the line. Right half-forward flank for Fitzroy. Been a good game, this one to date. Let's see if North can hang in there, perhaps get back. Guard a little too slow. Fairley trying to surge through. Abbott at the bottom. Wine getting it out. Now an opportunity for North Melbourne. This is McRae. Penetrating kick towards Longmire. Recovers well, but then runs into a brick wall. Sean Smith always dangerous in front of goal. Crocker over the top. That's better. Carey, goal. That's better play from North Melbourne. Carey gets his first since being moved into attack. And the margin now, Bernie, is just 11 points.
It's good play starting on the wing as Donald McDonald comes off the ground to be replaced again by Schenko. The replay into the forward line. North Melbourne with the numbers there. Sean Smith. Great tap on there from Crocker. Paul Roos trying to do the spoiling there on Crocker, but Crocker was able to get it over to Roos's direct opponent in Wayne Carey.
The Lions lead by 11 points. This is Guard. Kicking Fitzroy down towards their half-forward line. Clarkson goes off the ground and gets quite a bit of meterage on that one. Gained the best part of about 50 metres around the outer side. Eventually picked up out there by Ross Smith. A little indecisive to play from North. Roos sold into trouble. Gets it across to Baldwin, who boots it towards half-forward. Lyon goes back and takes a courageous mark.
The two Fitzroy wingmen doing very well. Blakey and Jason Baldwin on top, well on top.
Well, Lyon and Blakey making it pretty hard on that occasion. Blakey battles after the ball with Brayshaw. We've got a whistle and a bounce. Mark Brayshaw, the sixth man taken in the 1989 draft. There's Donald McDonald. Schenker back on the ground. Abbott out of mid-air inside the attacking 50. Bounced obligingly for this man Osborne, who runs just inside the centre square. Pops it up in the air looking for Lyon, who used his body brilliantly. Well, that was certainly stretching the rules, I'd suggest.
Well, he did hold his ground there, Rossi Lyon. A very good mark in the conditions, a fingertip mark, but great play also from Richard Osborne, the only player to attack that ball in between two North Melbourne defenders who waited for each other. Osborne having a great night playing at full forward.
Ross Lyon will kick it goal from about 30 metres out, 45-degree angle. Kick is on its way, misses to the short side.
Six plays 4-6. Donald McDonald we saw leave the ground. What's his problem, Jared?
Well, the concern was for his medial ligament of his left knee or his cartilage. They've had a thorough investigation and it appears that possibly he's just tweaked the capsule a little bit. I think he'll be right to come back on.
Martin to the outer side. Abbott a little late, but he got there. Baldwin towards the boundary line. Schwass, but he's flung over in a sea of mud.
Well, Stevens limped off at quarter time also, Dennis, so North Melbourne with only 18 fit players left.
Well, I'm convinced Michael Gale may have done his hamstring as he tried to sprint around the boundary too. It'll be interesting to find out what an update on that is.
Larkin tries to get through, wanted to find Fairley, couldn't do so. Has another shot towards the centre. Smith marks. North looking to steady to half forward. No mark, not paid. Blakey in quickly, gets through, then swings it wide to open territory on the wing. Wine gives chase, beating him with Scholl, close to the line. Craig Scholl keeps it in, inside to Rock, to half forward, fisting over the top came Paxman. Ishenko slung to the ground. Paxman again at the bottom. Dundas did get the handball away. Lyon did it nicely. Steadies towards the centre of the ground. Who's first to recover? It's Fitzroy through Cormac to the half-forward line. Lynch tucked on the boundary line. Pulls it back. Oh, the doctor! Goal! (7-6) plays 4-6.
Yeah, there was plenty of reason there to be excited because a good play from Fitzroy. Doc Wheeldon kicking his second goal. Richard Osborne's kicked 3. Fitzroy very determined at the moment. Alistair Lynch playing on that forward line also very lively. He centred it beautifully. Wheeldon took that mark on the run and finished it off from only a couple of metres out.
Seven possessions for Darren Wheeldon. He's kicked 2 goals and the margin is 18 points. Under 10 minutes remaining till half-time. Rucks go at it. Ishenko wins it down, storming through his line. He's been very busy. Diving on top of it. Trying to slap it out was Dundas. He succeeded, but only as far as Fairley, who boots it towards the outer side, and Ross Smith. Clever mark, running with the flight of the ball. He's forward of right centre wing. North Melbourne needing the next goal. Ross Smith. Little chip pass in short. Smith was up. Fisted away by Morrish. Waiting in front, Bunn going nowhere. Lyon picks it up. Off to Morrish. Morrish at half back, twisting, turning. That was a throw from Lyon, surely.
Well, Morrish didn't make it easy there for Ross Lyon.
Morrish involved there.
He really did try to play the field, didn't he, poor Morrish?
Sean Smith. Lyon went crashing into that fight as well. Really
50-metre penalty, I think, also, Dennis. So that is really a waste because Fitzroy did everything right across that half-back line. Schenko to take the 50-metre penalty and the shot at goal from only about 10 metres out, 10 to 15 metres. Big Alex.
Well, that's a good call from umpire Carey if in fact he saw what happened, because it was off the ball. They penalised the throw from Lyon, no doubting that.
Well, that's Fitzroy did all the hard work there, and Paul Morris just hung onto that ball far too long, put Ross Lyon under enormous pressure, and consequently had to try to hand pass very quickly, which was called a throw.
Schenko, no certainty from here. Whoa, just snuck it through. It's a goal. That's his first. North Melbourne's fifth. And Fitzroy lead by 12 points.
He played a great game last week, Schenko, against Essendon when he followed Salmon all day.
The injury list is mounting. Gale we saw leave the ground earlier. Any update on that, Gerard?
Yes, we've got a quick flash here, Sandy. The medical staff won't give up. They still believe they might be able to get him up after the half-time stretch and a bit of goanna oil into the hamstring belly.
Get on with me.
12 points the margin. Favouring Fitzroy in a good game of football. Schenko, Romero, Blakey. Flicked over the top. They all miss. McRae soccers off the ground out towards Schwass. Baldwin is there. Fitzroy have the numbers. This is Armstrong. Oh, there's an opportunity to score here. Centering kick in towards full forward. Lynch gets back there, tries something special that just didn't happen. As Jeremy Gard fired it into him. Looking for that sock off the ground. It wasn't to be. Out of bounds in the right forward pocket. Throw in again. Deep in Fitzroy's attacking zone. And making valuable ground is Clarkson. Some 30 metres out of the immediate danger zone. And the Lions preparing to make another change. Brett Stevens warming up on the sidelines. So there's been no shortage of use of the interchange. Dundas ripped off the football, as was Fairley. Wheeldon too tried to get a kick away. Was ineffectual. But great pressure out there. Pressure from both sides. And it's making for a very tight contest. Matthew Dundas, a youngster from Assumption College, applying the tackle on Clarkson on that occasion. Ball on centre wing. Paxman can't get through. Scholl from half back. Back over the wing once more. It clean bowls them all as Paul Roos sees it go over the line, and Abbott is off the ground. Bernie?
Yes, Brett Stevens having his first run, playing at centre half forward.
Throw in. Just under 7 minutes till half time. Larkin has been pretty quiet. Very high kick towards half forward. Smith and Bunn were battling. Baldwin does nicely and comes away for the Lions. Runs away from half back and boots through centre wing. Paxman kept his balance. Coming up to meet the ball, McRae. Close to the boundary line, he runs it across. And we'll have a throw in. 7-6 to 5-6. Fitzroy leading. Not a night for pretty football. It's been pretty tough. Both sides desperate for a victory. Clarkson bounces it out of bounds down towards left half forward. Really a must this game for North Melbourne. Fitzroy just outside the top six, a record of 4-3, and North 3-4. Thrown in, Paxman wins it down. Scholl missed it. Blakey, who's been terrific. A kick from Dundas as he was slipping, not particularly good. Wheeldon to the voice, back to Lyon. Lyon 60 metres from goal. High centering kick in the direction of Lynch. Dennis had a hand on the shoulder. Cormac couldn't control it. It comes back to Lynch. He's found some space, pulls it back across his body. Good effort. It's close. It's a goal. Lynch gets his first. Fitzroy have their eighth and lead by 18 points.
It's a very good quarter by Fitzroy. They've kicked 5 goals for the term. As we watch this in replay, Alistair Lynch now has Richard Dennis as an opponent. Very mobile player, Alistair Lynch. Can play in defence or in attack or even in the ruck if required, but having a spell on the forward line because of a heel injury and doing very well.
Concern for Wayne Schimmelbusch. North down 8-6 to 5-6. It's an 18-point margin that Fitzroy have, for much of this quarter, been able to hold. Brayshaw gets a kick back up towards the half-forward line. Bunn couldn't take the mark, but he's first to recover. Ducked his head, but he was tackled high. Gets the hand pass away to Armstrong. Back towards centre wing. Lyon has been inspirational once again. It bounces off guard. Schwass on all, I'm going to say on all fours, but he's on his knees.
All twos.
All twos over the line. Under 5 minutes remaining. He'll have another go. Cormac. Rain has cleared for the moment. Though there are rumblings. And over the line once again. Staunch supporters out here at the MCG tonight, and crowd has built up. It's good to see. No one going anywhere rapidly in that encounter. Wayne Schwass, former state player, the last one up. The ground holding up particularly well because it's this time of the year. It's going to start copping some very heavy traffic. Larkin has been quiet, but he does manage to get that out to Smith, who floats a kick up towards Sean Smith. They need a mark, but it's Paul Roos, ever reliable in defence.
Had a great year again, Sandy. Paul Roos averaging 25 disposals a game.
He's took over the captaincy once again this year, relieving Richard Osborne, and I think so far it's been beneficial to both, with Aussie looking for a ton and Paul Roos playing some of his best football. Doc Wheeldon has 2 goals to date.
And with the Lions winning, of course, Roos has got to be in early contention for the Brownlow. Runner-up once before. I think he started favourite that year. Ball out of bounds. It'll be thrown in. 5-6 plays 8-6. Alex Ashenko and Paxman. Ashenko hooking it behind. Romero gets it away to Rock. A centering kick. Going back is Ross Smith. Opportunity again for Smith, battling with Caven. Caven did well. Bunn, hurried kick towards the outer side. Schwass goes back, no one near him. He's got ample time to turn around and measure the next move. He goes in short. Finds McRae, who runs to 55 metres out. Long kick, sliding it across the face. Down goes Crocker. Was he pushed in the back? Not according to the umpire. This is Paxman. Goes over the top to Caven, who needs support. Guard hurriedly onto the boot. Gained about 20 metres, but straight to Scholl. Scholl goes to Larkin. Larkin 65 metres from goal. Puts it back to about 20 metres outside. Behind it's Longmire. Longmire, open goal, gets it. (6-6 to 8-6). Longmire's got his second goal.
North Melbourne looking a little bit better in the last 5 minutes or so. They need a big game from Johnny Longmire. Kicked 7 last week in their win over over Essendon, and 8 goals in the interstate clash state of origin game playing for New South Wales. He kicked 98 goals a couple of years ago, followed by 91 goals last season, so he's been great at full forward.
Once again, the margin back to 12 points. North keep chipping away. Buckley goes down to the half-forward line, but it's only that far. We've got under 1 3/4 minutes to go. Guard. Fitzroy looking for the quick reply. They've been able to get it. Osborne will soccer off the ground, and bang, there is the quick reply. 4 goals to Aussie. Oh, he's enjoying this. And 3 in this term, and once again they open up, Bernie, that 18-point margin.
Yes, they've been able to maintain that 18-point margin. It's just in replay. Richard Osborne, just with his mobility, he's not over tall for a full forward, a key position player, Richard Osborne, but gee, he makes up with it with his agility, his goal kicking, very accurate kick from within 50 metres, even 55 metres, can kick the ball long distances.
Well, an important minute and a bit now, because both of these sides would dearly love a goal. Fitzroy can get the biggest break they've had. North can close it to just 12 points. Down towards the right half-forward line. And North defend just pushing through Clarkson, gaining some 25 metres back towards centre wing. And under a minute remaining. Yashenko doing the big man work, trying to palm with the left hand. Blakey got it. Cormack takes it away, however, gives it to Lyon. He's going to have to go directly. Runs his full distance. Puts the Lions inside 50. Out the back it comes. Lynch was there, couldn't take it. Osborne working hard also. Guard applies a solid tackle. Comes back towards Lyon, who will charge through here. But he lost the football. Copping a heavy one was Armstrong. He goes to ground and is still down as Larkin streams through the centre. Perhaps there'll be time for the ruse. No, there won't. A poor kick is marked by Steve Paxman. Armstrong still in the hands of the trainers.
I think he ran into his own man there, Rossi Lyon.
Bun off to Blakey. Well, Lyon just came charging. Wielden, did it well. Tries to sneak out the back door now. Martin pushes him off the ball. They both go for some soccer tactics. And although the mark was taken by the injured Matthew Armstrong, and Martin too is in trouble. It's been torrid, it hasn't been pretty. They certainly can't afford to lose a player of Martin. We'll have a look firstly and see what happened to Matthew Armstrong.
I think he collided with Ross Lyon there as he came through. Ross Lyon certainly charging through at full steam, but the concern at the moment, Mick Martin.
He's in a bad way. They both went to soccer the ball, and obviously he's been kicked in the leg, and that is always exceedingly dangerous, isn't it?
Definitely. The two players desperately trying to kick the ball off the ground, and Martin receiving the worst of it.
So perhaps the siren coming at an opportune time. Looking once again at the half-time score here at the MCG. Fitzroy 9-6-60. They kicked 6 goals, 2 in that quarter, leading North Melbourne 6-6-42. Fitzroy leads by 18 points. The rain has cleared. Yashenko gets a second tap at it. Quite sure Wayne Schimmelbusch would have been asking for something very special at half-time. The loss here to the Roos and could make the season very long.
Yes, they start to lose touch, don't they, Sandy? North Melbourne, if they lose this one. It means a lot to them. If they win this game, they're on level terms with Fitzroy. If they lose it, they're 2 games behind.
Yashenko hammers down towards the half-forward line. Socket off the ground. That's out of bounds on the full, however. And it will be Wayne Schwass who will bring it back into play. North want the first goal. They've got the chance. It's inside 50. Crocker. High floating kick back in towards full forward. Longmire could have been retarded once again.
Yes, he was being held. The umpire spotted that again. Caven hanging on for dear life. He knew he was out of position.
Not very subtle, is it, from Caven?
And he's hanging on to the Guernsey. There it is, clearly hanging on, and the umpire spotting that.
Longmire kicked 2 in the second quarter. This is an important kick. He's kicked another one. That's what they wanted. The Roos away to a solid start. Again, they closed the gap to just 12 points.
Yes, they needed that start, North Melbourne. Schimmelbusch, I'm sure, would have been into them severely at half-time. He would have had strong words to say. There he is. Out of position, Peter Caven. Longmire in front, using his body well. And Caven just with desperation hanging on. That's all he could do, but the umpire spotted it, and he gave away a goal.
Let's go down to the boundary line quickly. Here's Gerard.
Yes, Anthony Stevens has come off with a knee injury, a left knee, and I'm told he won't take any further part in the play.
Ross Lyon's got the ball. Baldwin now. Lyon held a long time in the tackle. I think he'll get the free kick alongside the centre circle. The Lions lead by 12 points. He's been busy, Ross Lyon. Goes out very wide. Paxman, meters in the clear. Marks forward of the wing. Paxman's kick back towards centre half forward. Wielden in front, juggles the mark. Darren Wielden has this mark about 50 metres out from goal.
He's very lively in the forward line, Wielden. Good setup there tonight, Fitzroy, especially with Osborne. And there's Paxman again making space on that forward line. Very improved player, Steve Paxman, doing the ruck work.
Ashenko's the man who should be on him. Ashenko's standing in the goal square.
Yes, well, there's always a case there. Matty Rendell once kicked 8 goals playing as a loose man coming into that forward line when Gary Dempsey was picking him up. Gary Dempsey was just heading down to that back pocket trying to take the big mark.
So Paxman, 2 of the last 3 kicks, goes goalward and hits the post 2/3 of the way up. 9-7 plays 7-6, and that's what Robert Shaw is looking for, of course, mobility when he rucks a player like Paxman. Martin with a bit of a limp. He was kicked in the shin right on half-time as Dennis goes towards the outer side. Wheeled it in from the side. It falls forward, taken by Rock, who shows pace. He needed it. He runs a long way, chips it to Larkin. Forward of half-back. Matthew Larkin's away. Weaves his way through the middle and boots towards half-forward. Longmire on the lead, holds it well. Getting down low for that one. He's marked 50 metres out. Plenty of purpose in that movement forward.
Yes, very direct football there from North Melbourne. Bringing the ball right down that middle of the ground. Larkin, who's been quiet, a good manoeuvre, just sidestepping his opponent and delivering it to Longmire.
Longmire from just inside the 50. Kicks. He's pulled it left. Minor score.
So 3 goals, 3 to Johnny Longmire. He does hold the record here for goal kicking at the MCG, Sandy. 14 goals, along with Gary Ablett. He kicked that in a night match against Melbourne.
Caven brings it back into play. Well, Rock, who's behind the pack and just sees it over the line. Fitzroy have up until now been able to answer when North has scored a goal. Paxman had the chance, he was off target, and Longmire had the chance to cut the margin even further, but he too could manage only behind. Bunn close to the boundary line, wobbles it virtually along the line to Brett Stevens on the outer wing, and eventually it's over. Brett Stevens started the day, the night I should say, on the bench, in the thick of things now. There he is, getting a short kick before it ricochets once again over the line on that outer side. He does the ruck work this time with Alex Ashenko. Blakey comes in over the top. Romero waiting down in front. Gets a short kick. Scholl keeps it in play. Floats a high one. Down towards half forward. If North can get the next one, they're in with a real chance. Here comes Longmire. What a mark. Caven has his hands full.
Yes, I think Fitzroy may consider making a move there. Alistair Lynch sitting up in that forward pocket, probably one of the best fullbacks playing the game. Good use of the body there by John Longmire, keeping Caven out of the contest early, then making that lunge and hanging onto the chest mark.
This to make the margin a kick. He's done it. That's straight through the middle. The Roos are coming back. 4 to Longmire. 8-7. Plays 9-7.
Yes, both full forwards kicking 4 goals in this match. John Longmire, 2 goals in the second quarter, now 2 in this third quarter. And he's had a good week in front of goal, John Longmire. 7 last week, 8 in the interstate clash, and now 4 tonight. And I think that Peter Caven may consider putting Lynch there at some stage.
North Melbourne right back in this contest now. Fitzroy paying the price really for leaving them in the game when they dominated the first half. This is Scholl. High kick down towards the pocket. Caven goes back close to the boundary line. It pitches in and bounces out. We'll have a throw in. The young man with problems, Peter Caven, on John Longmire, who's running hot at the present time. Ashenko pulls it backward of the pack. Down goes Bunn. Romero's in there. Wanting a free kick is Carey. Nothing doing. Ball up in the pocket. Carey helping the umpire. One down by Ashenko. Missed by Lyon. Paxman on his knees. Romero towards the kickoff line. Carey goes off the ground. A behind. But North Melbourne looking far better at the present time. Potent up forward now. Carey and Longmire working in tandem. Robert Shaw looking a little unsure. And Caven to kick it in. Wind on a lead. Kick towards the outer side and Stevens. Bunn going back. Ross Smith worth a kick. Taken by Crocker. Down he goes. Ball jarred free. Now it's loose. Armstrong away to Roos. In the back pocket. Goes towards the boundary line. McRae picks it up just inside. Lays it off. Romero lost it. Cormac walked in and picked it up. His hand pass gained about 10 metres. McRae in trouble. Shrugs a tackle. Romero quickly onto the boot. Down towards the pocket once more. Back comes Roos. He can't control it. And content to run it across the boundary line when confronted by Longmire. So we've got a throw in.
Much more desperate North Melbourne in this term. They've been revved up at the half-time interval by Schimmelbusch, and they're really showing some desperation.
5 points the margin. Roos again. Just wobbles a kick. Romero could be first to this one. This could spell danger for Fitzroy, but he pulls it, and it's a behind. 4 points the margin. 8-9 plays 9-7. Abbott on the bench for Fitzroy as Caven brings it back into play. Plenty of holding on going on there, so both players infringing. The umpire lets it go. Lyon just tries to paddle it away towards Paxman. Down on all fours, he paddles it back towards Lyon. Beats him over the line. Fitzroy have added just the one behind so far in this quarter. Smith pulls it round his body. Bounces it in towards full forward. Caven comes out and does well. A good smother, however. The ball's still in the area. Baldwin puts Wind under pressure. It could prove costly. Carey lurking. Roos in over the top. Bunn there also.
Much better tackling this quarter, Sandy, from North Melbourne. They're really putting on pressure. The North Melbourne forwards fighting very hard to keep that ball in on their forward line.
Let's see what happens this time. Rock looking for the free kick. Ball on his hammer, so too Roos. And a throw in inside 50 for North Melbourne. From the throw-in. Cormac gets a high kick towards centre wing. Stevens tries to flick it over the back. Osborne's a long way from home. Kicks to half forward. Waiting down his line in front. He can have a shot and go over the top. He does. It's long. It's bouncing. Oh, the mark's been taken by Lynch. He plays on and goals. The Lions answer. 10-7. Plays 8-9.
That's what they needed, that Fitzroy, in one of their rare advances into that forward line. You see the mark there spilt by Brayshaw and cleaned up by Rossi Lyon. Lynch told him to kick long. He got back there very quickly, has got a lot of mobility, and I think that was a drop kick goal there from Alistair Lynch, getting away there from Richard Dennis.
15 possessions for Ross Lyon, valuable player tonight. This is Dundas alongside the centre circle. Only as far as Scholl, who boots it down inside half forward. Longmire has been terrific so far in this term. He goes off the ground and gets it out of bounds. It will be thrown in about 70 metres around from the North Melbourne goal.
The difference at the moment, Dennis, North Melbourne getting just about every break from the centre square.
Ashenko and Paxman. It falls behind them. Wind could have almost got a free. He will. Is it right half back? Jim Wind.
Throw your arms up and you've got every chance of getting the free kick.
Wind towards the outer side. Stevens from behind. Off hands out of bounds.
You say that, I mean, do you agree with that, Bernie?
No, it just brings attention. The umpire, it's good tactics by the player doing it, But I think on occasions, just because the player throws his arms up in the air, he receives the benefit of the doubt. Whereas if he hadn't have done that, the umpire would probably have let it pass by.
Romero goes off the ground. It's out of bounds again. The margin was 7 points at quarter time the Lions' way, 18 at the half. Vital third quarter. Not only tonight, but in the context of the season one senses for both these sides. Big game. Scholl overran it. Blakey has had a good night. Through centre towards half forward. Crocker from behind couldn't control it. Stevens with courage should have got a free kick. Fairly pushed off it. Osborne towards the boundary line. It goes out of bounds again and will be thrown in.
Well, that did look an obvious free kick to Brett Stevens.
And Osborne should be penalised there. He threw the ball over the fence. I think it is spectator as well, but he's got to leave it to the boundary umpire.
Mashenko wins it. Stevens tried to juggle it, couldn't do so. Larkin working hard. Fairley leaves it for Scholl. Oh, great tackle by Dundas. It's on behind as Wielden set sail for home. No mark. Who's waiting at the back? Baldwin is lurking there. Pressure now on the North defence. Still with Baldwin. He's trying to get it to Lynch. Lynch goes in over the top. Paddles it backwards, but no one at home for him. And North momentarily out of trouble on the half-back line. Desperate stuff.
Well, that
by both sides. Clever work by Craig Scholl.
That started over there with Richard Osborne and Michael Martin. No love lost between those two.
You'd have to be a black belt to do that, wouldn't you?
It's very tight and very tense. Mashenko front spot, wind in over the top. They pour in very quickly. Ross Lyon. Well, he's as tough as old boots, Ross. 10 points the margin. Mashenko again wins it, but it's Lyon. Oh, he's run into trouble. What a tackle by Rock. Play on is called. Ruse back to half forward. Martin and Osborne. It beats them both. Out the back. Steadying influence. Only as far as Lyon. Plays on. Schwartz intercepts. Here goes Garn. Off the ground. Lucks a fortune. Wielden takes the mark. Just inside 50. Ninth kick coming up for the Doc.
It's taken a long time to have this shot, Sandy. He'll be kicking from about 53, 54 metres. It might test him, I'd say, this distance.
It's going short. Joey Cormack is now well inside 50 on a better angle as Abbott and Stevens are about to interchange. We watch that kick for goal by Cormack. He sneaks it home. Cormack gets his first. But after North got to within 4 points, Fitzroy, Bernie have steadied.
Yes, back to a 16-point margin. Fitzroy have steadied in this second part of the third quarter. They're under enormous pressure. North Melbourne came at them very hard. And Fitzroy have stood up to it and now getting the numbers back at the fall of the ball.
Fitzroy out of the centre. Line going nowhere. Takes Romero down. And there'll be a ball up.
That's enormous stuff there from Ross Lyon. He's doing all the hard work. He loves putting his body in.
He's like a shark in a feeding frenzy at the moment, though, isn't he?
He's tenacious.
And he's not always thinking. Dundas boots it out wide. Ross Smith taken high. Whoa! Wielden got him. Ross Smith will get the free kick. The old clothesline. Ross Smith down towards half forward. Ashenko's the target. Offhand, Seacamp. Away to Dundas from half back. Through centre towards half forward. Martin, clever mark. Generally, Osborne has been the master in that confrontation. He goes in short, rather lazy kick. Larkin takes the mark. The defensive side of the centre circle. North Melbourne losing their early momentum. This is Carey to Schwartz. Wants his left side, gets it. Long kick down towards the kick-off line. Longmire from behind this time. It runs across the goal face. Opportunity for Clarkson. Pulls it back. Hasn't got the carry. Hasn't got the accuracy. Just misses. Minor score. Alistair Clarkson. North Melbourne are 8-10. Fitzroy 11-7. Just over 10 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. Caven brings it in. Members side with a kick. Fitzroy have got the numbers 2-on-1. Paxman did well. He kept it alive. Wine's hand pass goes to the wing. Here's Abbott. Missed it. Picked up by Ashenko. He's in trouble. Fairley's got it now. Gets it across to Romero,
who gets a hurried kick as he was pushed in the back. And a diving mark is taken by Wayne Schwass, just forward of centre. Still on the wing. But North deep into attack now. Down in front is Bunn. Charges at the football. Sean Smith coming the other way. And Bunn gets a pat on the back. Nowhere else for his efforts. Carey lucks it out of the air. Kicks to half forward. Ruse sees it spin away from him towards Wine, who's then got to try and flick it out. It goes straight to Smith, off to Rock, a little chip into the pocket. Danger here. Carey takes the mark.
Yes, poor play by Fitzroy there in defence. That ball should have been left for Ruse, coming with the run out of defence, whereas Jimmy Wine had to go back into the play and then turn around, try to turn around, take possession, turn around. Paul Ruse would have been running with the flow.
This is to make the margin 9 points. North preparing to make a change. Donald McDonald no doubt will change with Alex Ashenko, as Carey comes in for a shot at goal. Poster once more. 14 points the margin. One sense it's going to be a desperate last quarter, and already tension running high. Baldwin. Oh, puts Morris under a bit of pressure, but he's equal to the task. Gets it away to Ruse, who kicks to half forward. Oh yes, what a mark by Wielden. It's stuck off to Blakey. John Blakey shoots in towards goal. He's kicked the goal. No, he's hit the post. Oh, Bernie.
He does some amazing things, Darren Wielden. We saw that goal off the boundary line. I think Blakey's actually ran too far.
Yeah,
Sandy. But that goal he kicked off the boundary line against West Coast Eagles in Hobart, and there again just put up that left hand and it's stuck there.
So a free kick, the point does not stand. It will have to go back once again. And what an anticlimax. Let's have a look at this. This is sticky fingers.
He looked completely out of position there. The players locked arms and Crocker just didn't know where it ended up.
So once again, Crocker. Cry of ball this time by Fitzroy supporters, but he gets it down towards the running Smith, who goes for a chip in towards full forward. No mark taken by Sean Smith. It comes to Caven. They're out of trouble once again, as the mark is taken by Steve Paxman.
Paxman through centre. Guard an opportunity. That was clever. Got it to Osborne, who's away just outside the 50. Richard Osborne towards the kick-off line. Going back, his leg has been held. He must get a free kick. No doubt about that at all. Twice.
It's been a good setup in the forward line for Fitzroy. Osborne now playing further up the ground in this third quarter. Look at this free kick again. Being held there by Richard Osborne. Again throwing the arms up in the air. It doesn't hurt to do that. Richard Dennis playing, of course, on Alistair Lynch. He started off in the forward line. It was Mark Brayshaw who originally was Alistair Lynch's opponent. He was moved up to the forward line. He had a bit of trouble early. And Richard Dennis was moved to the defence, trying to cover Alistair Lynch.
He's got one goal. He's directly in front. Robert Shaw juggling. Caven needs to come off at full back so he can maintain Lynch on the forward line. So far he's been able to do that. And Lynch has kicked it. Fitzroy 12-7. North Melbourne 8-11.
That's the biggest margin of the evening now. Alistair Lynch kicking his third goal. As Matthew Armstrong is taken from the ground. He's being replaced. No, it's Mark Bunn off, and Brett Stevens back on, running up to the forward line.
12-7, 8-11. Just checking that. Lynch, we think, has got 3. Is that right, boys?
I've got him
There's
down for 3.
McDonald out of the middle. I've got him for 3. Diving.
3.
Paxman misses. Sliding in there is Dundas. Seacamp. Dundas, I think, was going to get the free kick. It'll come back and be his ball. We've taken inventory. I think Lynch has got 3. There goes Dundas down towards half forward. Big packet to fall of the ball. Knocked on by Abbott. Opportunity for Osborne. Running out of space. And it's out of bounds and will be thrown in. Enthralling duel, that one. Osborne and Martin.
It's better to hit the ground before you get to the boundary line, I think, in those situations, Dennis.
Keep making the point, Bernie.
Just over 6 minutes remaining in this vital third quarter. McDonald has been on and off the ground in his 150th game.
Paxman's been very good tonight.
Yeah.
I'd say he's one of the most improved players in the AFL, Steve Paxman.
Hustle then and got the just reward. Stevens. Too far out to score, but he's going to set it up once more for the forwards. Lynch couldn't take it. Who's waiting at the back? It's just hustled over the line for one behind. And it's starting to mount now for North. They trail by 21 points as Michael Gale continues to wander the boundary line.
I don't think we'll see him back, Dennis. He looks pretty proppy.
Schwass. Pushing the back there. He's got to go to line. He quickly sends Fitzroy into attack once again. Where are the forwards? Oh, Osborne got up high, so too did Lynch. But it opened the door for Dennis. Oh, he's put Crocker under pressure. Gets it back to Dennis, and they're out of trouble. McDonald has it. Goes over the centre. North want the next goal badly. Brayshaw waited, now sets after it. Great desperation by Wind, however. Good tackle on Carey. That was by Seacamp. Rock almost passes it out to Romero. He's claimed. It goes back to Rock, who bends one into half forward. Carey couldn't mark. Guard tries to storm through. Wind at the back. Goes across goal, but it's okay. Blakey is there as Bernie held his breath.
Bit of a gasp there. Very dangerous play by Jimmy Wine, but fortunately the pass was okay.
16th kick coming up for John Blakey. He's had a very good game. Crocker at the back hammers it over the line. As let's go down to the boundary line and the latest medical report from the professor.
Good on you, Sandy. Well, the slippery conditions have claimed another victim. Mark Bunn has come off. He's strained his medial ligament. May well have torn his medial meniscus or cartilage. He doesn't look like he's going to come back on, but if the situation gets desperate, well, you never know.
Bad luck for Bunn. Had quite a few injury problems last season. 12-8, 8-11. Under 4 minutes till three-quarter time. So Fitzroy have weathered that early challenge from North Melbourne immediately after half-time. Blakey throws it on the boot. A lot of North Melbourne players around the ball. Romero went off the ground. It spills across to Smith. Pulls it back. They'll contest about 5 metres out. What a great mark held by Longmire.
Great kick around his body there by Ross Smith on his left boot. He's got a very tight angle here though, John Longmire. The umpire, of course, having to line him up with the centre of the goal line. A very tight angle. Probably go for the banana kick here, Dennis.
Longmire's got 4, 2 in this term. He does, as Bernie suggested, go for that kick and puts it through. Well, Longmire has been the catalyst in this term. 9-11, plays 12-8.
Yes, he's kicked 5 of those 9 goals, John Longmire.
Yes, all our inventories checked, Bernie.
Yes, we all agree on that one. Here's the mark again. Again being held by the Guernsey by Peter Caven. And John Longmire has now kicked 5 goals, 3, including 3 in this third quarter.
Armstrong out of the middle sends Fitzroy forward. Very wide kick taken by Clarkson on the burst. Shows a lot of dash. He's at left half back. He boots towards the wing. Roos was bumped in the back. Should get the free kick and will.
Correct decision too. The crowd not happy with it, but he was pushed fair and square in the back.
Paul Roos up towards right centre wing. Still that juggling act continues as far as Robert Shaw's concerned, leaving Caven on Longmire. So he can run Lynch on the forward line. Cormac down towards that man Lynch. Battling here with Dennis. Lynch almost held without it. Still he goes. He socketed it twice. It's 5 metres out. He goes off the ground again and just missed. Well, Kenny Dalglish would have been proud of that.
Yes, he's had worries with a heel injury, Alistair Lynch. Obviously that right heel a real problem, and that's probably why he hasn't been moved back to full back.
Yes, he's played with that now for some time, Bernie, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
Schwass in the back pocket. Just on 2 minutes remaining. Schwass goes wide, very wide, looking for Crocker. Kept in play to Buckley. North get the next one here, Clarkson. Oh, no infringement. Play allowed to go on. Ruse. Crowd don't like it, but Ruse goes up towards Lynch. Has to do it with one hand. Osborne, play on is the call. Richard Osborne pulls it round his body. Coming back, but not far enough, and one behind. Osborne has, what,
4-2?
4-2, Bernie, out of 12-10. Schwass taking the kick in. Dennis. McDonald. Fairley it is. Who goes over the centre. Brayshaw looking to fist it. Carey looking to paddle it on. But only succeeds in missing his vice-captain and putting it over the line. 65, plays 82. 17 points. So we're going to be in for a thrilling last quarter. North have shown in the past they can stage quite remarkable comebacks, but Fitzroy are one determined unit. Oh. Riding the bump was Buckley. Kicks blindly to the forward line. Which way will it bounce? Caven and Longmire. Clever tap by Longmire wanting Smith. Rock goes in to help. It's with Longmire now. He'll try and pull it round the body, but partly smothered. Bounces to Brayshaw. Gives it back again. Longmire in trouble. Loses the football. Fitzroy lock it up. It's Abbott who eventually gets a kick. Wide to the outer wing. Wielden and Fairley. And it's Wielden who gets there first. He was surrounded and outnumbered. He finds the boundary line. Abbott. Crocker. Round his body. Towards the half-forward line as the siren sounds. It's three-quarter time here at the MCG. So the scene is set for a big last quarter. Fitzroy, a 12-10, 82, leading North, 9-11, 65. Well, let's see who's the toughest out here tonight. North or Fitzroy? Into the final quarter. North want the first goal. Ushenko gives them the start. He's done well, the big man tonight. But it's Lyon who sends Fitzroy down to their left half-forward flank. And Buckley very close to the line eventually sees it over. Well, Tuddy picked Fitzroy. Bernie, do you think North can get back?
I don't think so, Sandy. I still like Fitzroy. 17 points up at three-quarter time. A big task for North. They're not out of it, but Fitzroy, the way they've attacked this tonight, I don't think they'll let this one slip out of their grasp.
That slipped out of Matthew Larkin's grasp. Another bounce will take place. Abbott again contesting with Ushenko. Both big men still there.
It's probably the wettest part of the ground over there, where the old cricket pitches used to be. Yep.
Schwass has to do a little leaping. Sock it off the ground eventually towards Rock. Wine gets rid of him. Osborne got rid of the football very quickly. Dundas down towards the pocket, gathering valuable meterage. McRae over the line. He goes. Fitzroy, after giving North a 2-goal start, has led at every change, with the Roos getting to within 4 points in the third quarter, but that was as close as they got. Rock soccers off the ground. The bounce is not favourable for North. Morris's hand pass goes to Romero, who's beautifully bumped by Roos. Roos kick towards Abbott and Lyon at the bottom, who charges it forward towards Baldwin. taken by Dundas. The whistle had sounded. The free kick will go back to Baldwin.
Held when not in possession, Jason Baldwin. He's been a very good player again tonight for Fitzroy.
12th kick coming up. Very smooth mover. He wants Lynch. Got front spot. No one going past doing the roving. Blakey is in there. It's tunnel balled out the back door by McRae and over the line.
Boundary throw in then. Fitzroy have led at every change. Cormack in trouble, almost holding the ball. No bounce, says the umpire, or more particularly a throw up. He does that immediately. Abbott gets it down. Buckley's kick towards half back, but only as far as Baldwin. The margin was 7 points at quarter time, 18 at half time, 17 at three-quarter time. Paxman is loose. He's taken this mark about 40 metres out from goal. And again, that problem we highlighted during the third term. Paxman really cast in the role of a ruckman tonight. Ashenko is dropping back very deep for these set plays, and Paxman is coming up late. A chance to kick a goal here. Not a good kick though. Sliding into the pocket, Lynch.
Great pass.
Paxman will claim it later.
He couldn't even claim that, I don't think. It was a shocking kick from Paxman. That to Lynch. A very tight angle though. He's been a good player. Competed very hard in that forward line.
He's got 3 goals. Very tight angle this one. He's starting in the front row. He runs around, pulls it across his body, and he's missed to the near side. But Fitzroy generally have dictated the terms in this game. 12-11 to 9-11. Just over 21 minutes remaining in the match. Richard Dennis, a premiership player at Carlton, finds Clarkson close to the boundary line. He goes short. Schwass up from the back pocket towards midfield with the kick. The target is Schenko. Marks uncontested. A belated fist from Fitzroy. Ashenko inside the centre square. That's a terrible kick. No, it's not. Scholl's taken the mark. Me and my big mouth. Scholl, forward of the wing. Pops it up towards centre half forward. Out storms Longmire. Fisted away by Caven. Well played. It falls to Wheeldon, who boots it down towards left half forward. Cormack from behind. McRae leads back in the race. Is it right half back? North Melbourne have got the numbers. Schwass gets it across to Dennis, who boots it very high through the wing.
A desperate lunge by Wheeldon. Is to no avail. Goes over the line. So a throw in on the outer side. Tough to score in this last quarter. Wine tries to go through. And again over the line. Paul Roos just ambles after it. Carey knowing that it's going to beat him. Ross Smith comes down. 18 points is the margin. 3 straight kicks. Socket off the ground, and again North doing it inch by inch. Ashenko and Paxman. Won by Paxman, but taken by Rock. It's a little nudge, but it's to his own advantage. Blakey arches over the back. Chasing is Scholl. He's back at the centre of the ground. Goes to half forward. Roos went early. Stevens there with him. Play on the call. Abbott marks in centre wing. Goes for the torpedo and gets onto it. To half forward. Waiting at the back is Dennis. Goes wide to Schwass. He kicks to the half back line. Wheeldon again the flyer. Rock tried to sock it off the ground. Good work by Ross Lyon. Crocker tries to edge him out of the way. Past Wind it goes. Roos again with some heavy work, and Rock felt that one.
Yes, good body work there from Paul Roos. I did the same thing a short while ago with Jose Romero. Good hip and shoulder.
Thrown in. Ashenko goes up and directs it down. Carey's got it. Forward of the wing to Ross Smith. Out wide. Schwass slips over. Lost control of it. Back into the path of Carey. McDonald running out of space. Confronted there by Stevens. Taken by Armstrong. Gets it away. Seacamp. Back to Armstrong. Claimed by Smith. Down he goes. Brilliant pick up by Clarkson. Romero sliding in down there was Guard. Missing the ball was Paxman. Picked up by Romero. 40 metres out from goal. Sends it back to the square. Off hands. Opportunity for Smith. Down he goes. Stevens got him. Away comes Morrish. Chips it out wide and Blakey.
He might have been unlucky there, Sean Smith, not to get that free kick. He had his head down over the ball and Brett Stevens charged in. A very high tackle, and a player, when he's got his head down, must be protected. I thought that was poor umpiring.
Paxman has the ball. Forward of half back. Towards half forward. It's out of bounds.
And the thing is, Sean Smith has been, well, what looks like he's suffered a fairly severe injury in the hands of the trainers there. Not looking all that good, and if there was ever a case for a free kick, there was one there, because Brett Stevens right into his head. Those players must be protected.
Armstrong scrambles a kick towards the boundary line, so North Melbourne hard done by there.
He didn't have a chance to throw his arms up in the air.
He's having trouble now. Flicked backward of the pack by Wheeldon, taken by Fairley. Smith seems to be okay, and that's good news.
Yeah.
Crocker goes down. Dundas in turn. Paxman gets the hand pass off. Blakey, who's been a star. Long kick into the forward line. Lynch pushed him in the back, surely.
Yes, definite free kick.
Dennis will take the free, and he wastes no time.
Just accept the decision and get back on the mark, Alistair Lynch.
Smith is up, but he's going to leave the ground. At least he's up. That's good news. Dennis from the back pocket. Who is going to break through for the first goal in this final quarter? Wheeldon. As Brayshaw comes back onto the ground. Romero got up high and he just thumps it over the line. It's in Fitzroy's attacking zone. Sean Smith in the hands of the medical staff of North Melbourne. I would doubt whether he'll take any further part in this game. The injury toll has been pretty high tonight. Shot in towards full forward, goes across the face of goal. And further behind to Fitzroy, kicked by Matthew Armstrong.
10 minutes into this quarter, Sandy, and only 2 points have been scored, both by Fitzroy.
Dennis again. Goes to the outer side. Romero waiting down in front. A couple of options there. In fact, Schwass is the one who takes it. But the kick is not good. Paxman lurking back there. He can go over the top to Blakey. Oh, Dundas is there as well. Blakey can run into an open goal. From 48 metres, he sets sail for home, but he's missed a fair one behind. Now, for the latest on Sean Smith, here's Gerard.
Well, we saw him cop that heavy knock, but the doctor informs me that he's okay to come back on if required.
Well, that's good news for North fans. He may well be required. Dundas is caught. He's lost it.
They're set up there from that hand pass by Richard Osman. Very tough there for Matty Dundas to get out of trouble.
Scholl out of defence towards the wing. Crocker does well, just easing back off his opponent. He's taken this mark on the wing. He boots it down towards half forward. Roos will need to go. Got one hand to it. Couldn't hang on. Wheeldon did very well in a tight situation. Back towards half forward. Dundas. Not used to taking marks. Missed it. Clarkson on his knees. Got it to Crocker. Crocker's hurried kick. All Fitzroy. Seacamp. A former East Perth player confronted by another one. Alex Ashenko standing the mark. Seacamp. Back towards half forward with a very high kick. Ross Lyon got high. Abbott across his body down towards full forward. Lynch likes that man-to-man work. This is McRae. Gets it off to Rock. Larkin, who runs to centre half back. North Melbourne needing a goal. Romero claims it in the centre. Schwass alongside the centre circle. Kicks it high inside the attacking 50. It could run behind. Oh, Fitzroy makes sure it comes in front. Morris does well. Comes away with pace. Sends it back towards the wing. Wheeldon.
They're defending stoutly, Fitzroy. Good play there by Paul Morris.
Yes, you get the feeling Fitzroy have got the measure of North. He boots it down towards half forward. Still no goals in this final term. Clarkson and Dundas close to the boundary line. It's out of bounds. And we'll have a throw in inside the attacking 50 for the Lions, who lead 12-13 to 9-11.
No goals, Dennis, but valuable time ticking away for both sides.
Under 13 minutes now. Wind gets it to Osborne. Osborne kicks across the face, through for a minor score. Lynch going back, couldn't control it. In any case, he was across the goal line. Osborne has kicked 4 goals tonight.
The margin is 21 points. Schwass taking it from the back pocket. The Roos are going to have to get their skates on. But Fitzroy are proving a very tough nut to crack. Larkin goes nowhere. In fact, opens the door for the Lions and may open it very wide.
The mark's been paid, Sandy.
Lynch will have a shot 30 metres out.
Well, that's the type of desperation Fitzroy has shown all night. Let's see if he did actually hold this mark, Alistair Lynch. Just losing it as he hit the ground, but I think he held it long enough.
This could well be the first nail in the North coffin. Lynch has kicked 3. He's now kicked 4. 4 goals to Alistair Lynch, and blow me down. Sean Smith is back out on the ground.
Yes, Alistair Lynch has been very good, playing alongside Richard Osborne in that role that has often been played nowadays. The dual 2 full forwards, Alistair Lynch lining up alongside Richard Osborne, who's also kicked 4 goals, and they've been very effective.
Outstanding performance this by the Lions. The easy beats last season, just 4 wins for the year, about to post their 5th win, one census, in this young season. The ball out in the wing. Brayshaw battling with Morris. Morris leads in the race, gathers it just inside the boundary, and then proceeds to kick it out of bounds on the full.
He has been a good pickup though, Paul Morris. Didn't play many games last season with Essendon. Started off with Richmond, so at his 3rd AFL club.
Fitting in very nicely. Here's Scholl on the wing. 13-14, 9-11. Back towards half forward. Rock out of bounds. Bear in mind, North Melbourne kicked the first 2 goals in the game, so in effect it's been 13-7 since that time. And that does reflect the play. Wind and Rock close together as it's thrown in. Crocker boots it further afield. The ball will come back. It's a North free kick. Carey was pushed in the back.
Been pretty quiet tonight too, Wayne Carey. 8th kick coming up.
Longmire will be the target, and why not? He's been their 1 forward who's looked dangerous. Smith's got it. Down he goes. The 232s. Baldwin did well and puts it to the boundary. So Fitzroy 92, North Melbourne 65, and Fitzroy, it seems, are for real.
Gee, isn't Fitzroy 92 a very different side from 91, Bernie?
Well, they've picked up some good picks in the draft, Sandy. They're all playing pretty well too, and of course a different Richard Osborne this year. Wheeldon with a different attitude on that forward line.
And it shows night form generally as good form, isn't it? Pre-season, Foster's Cup.
Yep.
Get the ball rolling early in the season. It certainly gives the club a lift.
And their commitment too has been fantastic. Through Blakey, Scholl, almost an airing. Rock has tried hard. Fitzroy defence just stands firm. Now the doctor may get clear here. Oh, he had it spent, I think. Smith tidies up. Romero. Back to Smith. Thought about Schwass, but then goes longer towards Carey. Paxman over the top, an effective spoil. Baldwin. to half forward. And Wielden again. A vice-like grip on the ball. Will have a shot.
Yes, he's been very good, Darren Wielden. 8 marks for the night in greasy conditions. Usually a pretty reliable kick at goal too, Darren Wielden.
Kicked one in the first quarter, one in the second. From directly in front. Going to be close. I think he's got it. Wielden has his third. The Roy's are home. 14-14 to 9-11.
Shimmer on the phone there, but all too late because Fitzroy will run away with this game now. North Melbourne yet to score in this final quarter. They've had 3 very good forwards, Fitzroy. 4 goals to Lynch, 4 goals to Osborne, and now 3 goals to Wielden, whereas North Melbourne has relied on the goal kicking of John Longmire, who's kicked 5 of their 9 goals.
McRae out of the middle for North. They've added just 3 goals since half-time. Down goes McDonald. Seacamp just directs it across to Stevens, who boots it towards the wing, and Roos, who's been a very good player. Blakey, possibly the best on the ground, down towards half-forward. Clarkson in front, held without it. No free kick. Lyon sliding in there. Wielden cleverly gets it out to Osborne, who's bending it back, but not far enough. Point. 14-15 to 9-11. North Melbourne will find it hard to make the 6 from here now. So much congestion in the middle ground on the table. They can't give a start. And a loss tonight means they will. Larkin from centre half back towards midfield. Roos comes up aggressively, gets it on the ground. Guard, strong tackle on McRae. Smith gets it off to Buckley. Across it comes to Schwass, who boots it down towards right half forward. Caven in front. Heads for the boundary line, and why not? Will he throw it in? John Longmire, 5 goals. The only forward for North tonight. Had a purple patch in the 3rd term. And during that, North were half a chance to get back into the game. Larkin floats one inside the 50. Smith goes back with courage. Blakey. Still Blakey keeps it in front. Well played, John Blakey. Swings it out wide towards the wing. Now it's a foot race. Osborne in front. Martin close to him. Osborne slides across the boundary line.
Yes, Richard Osborne playing much further up the ground since half-time. He hasn't kicked a goal in this second half, but he's left that goal square to Alistair Lynch.
Lyon does well. Off to Matthew Armstrong. Into half forward. Wielden was his target. Couldn't take the mark. Lynch will soccer off the ground. What can Dundas do? He soccers. He'll have to do it again. Can't get there. And eventually over the line in the right forward pocket.
You've got to wonder about North Melbourne, don't you, really?
Well, they're the big disappointments of the year, I think, North Melbourne.
Well, a couple of years now.
Yes, they've been promising a lot for a few years.
Roos a goal. (15-15 to 9-11).
It's the margin now out to 40 points, and Fitzroy has done it well in this last quarter. Paul Roos just sneaking that one in, running down from centre half back where he's playing. I think Michael Martin might be having a spell at centre half forward for North Melbourne. So North trying everything.
65 plays 105. The Roy's have the bye next week. So things are going to be rocking in Fitzroy territory. They go down into the half-forward zone once again. Smith couldn't take it. Wielden only had to go over the top. He couldn't. Lyon gets a hurried kick towards the half-forward line. Guard was his target. Socket off the ground by Buckley. It's effective. It finds Matthew Larkin, who in turn goes on to McRae. Ball to ground once. Osborne gives chase, but McRae gets his kick up towards half-forward. McDonald comes over the back. A wind is there. So too Rock. Roos in hot pursuit. Rock shrugs the tackle, spins round, shoots in towards full forward, and off hands for one behind. 9-12. That is North's first score for the quarter. And we have just over 5 minutes remaining. So full credit to the Fitzroy defence, but no doubt bitter disappointment for Wayne Schimmelbusch and his side. Scholl at the bottom now has a chance to get clear, can go over the top to Martin. Oh, back to Scholl, he's going to run out of room. Blakey's got him.
Got to be holding the ball. Sold into trouble there by Michael Martin, who's played a bit of football on the forward line. He actually led the goal kicking for the under-19s in 1986 with 96 goals.
Blakey has had a wonderful game. 23 kicks, 8 marks, 6 hand passes. Ruse also has been most effective to Caven, who thought about going off. Now he does. Caven's kick in towards Lynch is a little too wide and goes over the line for another throw-in. 66 plays 105. Abbott and Fairley. Fairley loses it. Wheeldon tries to get it out. Brayshaw, a little chip towards the line. Schwass helps it on its way. Just over 4 minutes remaining. Fitzroy in control.
Just over 17,000 here tonight, Sandy. On a cold Melbourne evening, so not a bad crowd, actually.
No, it's very good.
Abbott in front, directs it down. Cormac, the hurried kick out of the congested pack towards the pocket. Sliding in there is Dennis with Lynch. Behind them, Ross Smith. And the umpire will throw it up in the pocket. So Fitzroy, a terrific start to the season. Rucks go at it. McRae in trouble. Down he goes. Ross Smith heads for the boundary, and it will be thrown in.
The tackling there again of Ross Lyon. He's been magnificent. Been in everything. He really throws his body in regardless. 17 kicks and 6 hand passes tonight, Ross Lyon.
15-15 to 9-12. Here's Osborne shooting at his 6th. Well wide of the mark, out of bounds on the full. Well, if they stay healthy, particularly their key players, Fitzroy, they can press any team in the competition.
I lost a key player tonight too, Michael Gale. He started off in very good form. He'd have been a fair bit of strife with that hamstring too. He missed a couple of games with it.
Just looking at North Melbourne, very bland team. No players really there when they need a star to step up. They lack stars when you look around the league that other sides do have. Very even side, but that's half their problem, I think. No one really accepting responsibility. Wine's hand pass, or no one good enough. This is Rock across his body. Lyon goes back. No Paul Ruse, no Ross Lyon, no Richard Osborne in their team, no Richard Lynch, or Alistair Lynch rather. Neither. Here's McRae about 20 metres out from goal. Cormac almost sat on him. Picked up by Ross Smith.
And no system looking at that hand pass in defence, Dennis. That was terrible defence by North Melbourne.
Not much going for them, Bird.
Bringing it back right into the goal face.
Still on half back. Fitzroy have locked it up here. Joe Cormac at the back of the pack snaps, but goes right across the face of goal and puts it out of bounds on the full. Dennis. Clarkson over the top.
Didn't know he liked the footy.
To centre wing. Oh, Smith copped another one. Sean Smith, just forward of centre wing. Finds his mark in Donald McDonald. 150 for Donald. Martin at half forward was interfered with, and he'll take a kick just outside 50.
Free kick against Baldwin. Obvious free kick. No use arguing about that one. Eyes on the ball, Mick Martin, and he copped a high one from Jason Baldwin.
So Martin directly in front. Kicking from probably 55. And he's gone for distance and pulled it out of bounds in the left forward pocket for North Melbourne. Inside the last minute of this game.
When did North kick their last goal? That would be an interesting equation, actually, because they started the third term with a blaze of glory. Longmire got a couple of quick ones, I remember. So it could be
Fairly early in the third
minutes
quarter.
or so of actual playing time.
Well, Longmire kicked their only 3 goals in that third quarter.
In fact, a statistician has just told us the 26-minute mark of that third quarter. They've kicked a behind so far in this quarter.
That's right, they got a late one, didn't they? But 1 goal in a lot of football.
But that's not worrying Fitzroy. Larkin around his body, bends it back, not far enough. Ruse will sneak away and may well have the last kick of the night. No, he'll go for the handball over the top towards Stevens and Abbott. Abbott has the final kick. There's the siren. Victory to Fitzroy, who continue to prove a point that they are a team in 92.
Yes, yeah, no question about that. A lot of solidarity at Fitzroy as well. You can sense that when you watch them on the field, and just the general behaviour of the players. They are very solid at the moment, and that's going to stand them in good stead. North Melbourne, well, we've talked about them. There's a man with a lot of problems on his mind, I'd suggest now. North Melbourne, really no sense of direction at the moment. Their players would have been, I'm sure, pumped up coming into this game. It was a very important game for them, but they simply fell away. They couldn't maintain the pressure, and Fitzroy have played out 4 quarters, and that's the difference. Paul Ruse, a rejuvenated player, remarkable, 3 times best and fairest. He won it last season, but you get the feeling he's playing as well now as he ever has. Alex Yashenko going off the ground, disappointing performance, although he did start well. Really symptomatic of his side. Repeating the score then at the MCG, Fitzroy big winners, 15-15 to North Melbourne, 9-12.